In the summer of 1961, large numbers of East Germans were emigrating to the West. They saw no future for themselves in communist East Germany. There was talk of the East German regime planning a wall to stop the mass exodus. Communist leader Walter Ulbricht publicly denied the rumors.
Nobody intends to build a wall.
A blatant lie. Shortly afterwards, all access to West Berlin was sealed off. In 1961, Lothar de Maiziere, later the only democratically elected prime minister of East Germany, was a student in East Berlin.
If you were smart, there were still ways to get across to the West for the first few days. If I'd thought the wall would remain for 28 years, I don't know if I would have stayed. But back then, I thought, this is where I am studying, and I have a fantastic tutor. That's why I stayed.
In 1961, Egon Bahr was the Speaker of the West Berlin Senate. He saw the wall as a huge tragedy.
We lost more than a leg. The eastern sector of the city was gone. It forced us to rethink. We said, if no one helps us to get rid of the wall, we must at least try to make it penetrable. At least for a few hours at a time, so that people could see their relatives again.
In the 1960s, Bahr was influential in changing inter-German relations. As chief political advisor to Chancellor Willy Brandt, he helped initiate Ostpolitik, the policy of negotiating with East Germany instead of isolating and ignoring it.
Brandt said, small steps are better than great words. We have to be able to help the people.
As a result of the negotiations, family visits were permitted and new transit routes linking West Berlin to West Germany were built. In December 1972, as West German Secretary of State, Egon Bahr signed the Basic Treaty with East Germany. For the first time, East and West exchanged diplomats and opened permanent representations. Then, in 1974, one of Willy Brandt's closest advisors, Gunther Guillaume, was revealed to be an East German spy. Brandt resigned, but negotiations continued on the international stage. Helmut Schmidt and Erich Honecker were among those who signed the 1975 Declaration on Security and Cooperation in Europe. It laid down human rights and recognized the boundaries of East and West Germany.
On the one hand, as an East German citizen, you had the feeling that the country was finally being taken seriously. After all, you did have a certain amount of loyalty to the country you lived in. On the other hand, it gave you the feeling that they were cementing the current situation.
Officially, that was the start of peaceful coexistence between the two Germanys.
Germans continued to live side by side under two different systems. Chancellor Kohl's conservative government had to accept the situation. The main aim now was to make life easier for East German citizens. West Germany paid hard currency for the release of thousands of people who tried to flee to the West and dissidents from East German jails. There was little progress on the political front.
During my whole political career, I believed unification would come someday. But in the mid-1980s, I was certain it wouldn't happen in my lifetime.
That wish was so forbidden, we even kept it secret from ourselves. On the other hand, when it became okay to dream about it again, the wish appeared again immediately.
As East Germany's first and last freely elected prime minister, Lothar de Maiziere became instrumental in realizing the dream of his countrymen. His first priority was German unification. Egon Bahr and Lothar de Maiziere have now retired from politics, but they've entered the annals of history as beacons of hope for Germans on both sides of the wall.